A person is elected, they come in with one set of ideas, and then people with briefcases come to them, well dressed in dark suits like mine, not with a red tie, but with a black or dark blue one. And they start explaining how things should be done, and everything changes immediately.
The president of Russia, in a nutshell, has just told the world what happens with various administrations when they come into power. They come with a specific agenda, they come with the zeal and power of achieving certain things, but at the end of their term limit, they're even re-elected, but they don't achieve whatever they had promised to achieve. With me is a video of Vladimir Putin saying these words that I've probably paraphrased, but I'll play the video and let you know the exact things that Vladimir Putin did say. And you'll find a very coinciding point with the situations and leadership of Africa. For instance, when he said that presidents come and go, but the politics don't change. You may wonder the reason as to why these politics don't change. Because you find at one point someone is in the opposition with specific leaders on their support. At a certain point, one is in a government, and some of the people who are supporting him in the opposition are now with him in the government, and some are left behind in the opposition. Some who are in the government at that particular time, they leave the government and go back to the opposition. So politics don't change, but the administrations change, presidents change. So they say that the power of bureaucracy is very strong, such that even the blueprint that you come with as a president of the things that you want to achieve is not considered, because some other people come and give instructions. The president, that is Vladimir Putin, says a person is elected and comes with one set of ideas. Then people with briefcases, and they start explaining how things should be done, and everything changes immediately. And we can see clearly that is what happens with the African leadership. It is so unfortunate that the international media that you keep looking up to is also compromised. So watch this video, then I'll come with more analysis.
I have already talked with one US president, then another, and a third president. They come and go, but politics does not change. Do you know why? Because the power of bureaucracy is very strong. A person is elected, they come in with one set of ideas, and then people with briefcases come to them, well dressed in dark suits like mine, not with a red tie, but with a black or dark blue one. And they start explaining how things should be done, and everything changes immediately. Do you understand? This happens from one administration to another. Changing anything is quite a complicated matter. I say this without any irony. It's not that someone doesn't want to change things, it's because it's complicated. Look at Obama. He's a progressive person, very liberal-minded, a Democrat. Before the election, he promised to close Guantanamo. Did he do it? No. Why? Didn't he want to? He wanted to very much. I'm sure he did, but it didn't happen. He sincerely aspired to it, but it's not that simple. However, this isn't the main issue, though it is important. It's hard to imagine. People are walking around in shackles for decades without trial or investigation. Imagine if France did that, or Russia. We wouldn't hear the end of it.
Exactly the point. You see, these people that you see placed in a power via election or any kind of monarchy rule, they are people who design how the government will be run. And that is the bureaucratic processes that are there. You should follow so and so, so and so should tell you how things should be ran. So and so will tell you how it should be done, how it has always been done. People are afraid of changes. They want to maintain the status quo so that if it is a matter of looting, remember there are those who have always benefited out of these kind of bureaucratic setups, and not anytime soon are they willing to let go of that benefit. So they do say in Swahili, asifie mvua imemnyea. So you cannot just praise something without seeing how good it is, isn't it? Right. So these people, from the processes, from the era of colonialism, they are things they have been benefiting. So it has become generational. There is a thumbnail that had already put somewhere. They did give their footprint strong enough in some place. And that place is the government that we see in the world today. It doesn't matter whether it is in the international realm or in the national Kaaba. It doesn't matter. The thing is that there are bureaucratic processes. That's why when you see a president campaign, there's so much that they will promise because they are operating incognito of the processes that happen after they are elected. They don't know. So after they are elected, that is why President Vladimir Putin is saying, people with the briefcases, come and I'll tell you how things should be done, and everything changes immediately. Trust me. For a long time, I've doubted these, but he's been brave enough to clear my doubts. Because you always wonder, how comes these people change immediately they get into power? They have so very clean manifestos, and you feel like this is the person that we actually need to support. Then eventually they get into that seat and everything reshuffles them. So at the end of the day, what does this thing remind you? That if you want true leadership, we need to keep accountability. And how do we keep accountability? We need to know that the sovereign power resides with the people. Here now, I'm talking to the world. I'm not only talking to Kenyans, Tanzanians, Ugandans, or Africa. I'm now talking to the world. The sovereign power ultimately belongs to you. Now, unless you are in a dictatorial kind of government, but I believe most East African countries, if not all, under the rule of the constitution. Either it's a presidential, system, or it is a parliamentary system. Though all we know is that their constitutions dictates that the people have the sovereign power, which they can practice either directly or indirectly through representation of the people that they choose, either the members of county assembly, either they are members of parliament, through their governors, through their senators. Now, if the people have already seen that the elected leaders are not taking into accountability what they were elected for, then they have the jurisdiction to make sure that everything they wanted is actually achieved and implemented. I don't know what's your idea about this, but on this, I really support Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, on this. Ahmed Khalif is my name for the Unscripted Talks here in DURB Radio. If you love content of this nature, if you're watching from our Facebook page, kindly follow us. And on our YouTube channel, kindly subscribe and press the notification button so anytime that we are live or we upload content of this nature, you'll be the very first person to be notified, as we just keep on analyzing and looking at various political landscapes within Africa. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Kwa timba kali za Afrika, DURB Radio ndio mpango mzima.